Hey, what's up stream keepers, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's topic, we actually wanted to share with you guys with some very interesting topics. And today we have a very special guest. Actually, it's not, we actually know each other for quite some time, and I think it took us close to a year. It's not yet a year, but it has close to a year. And I actually wanted to feature his journey with everybody after he has, reached to a certain stage, a certain point. And today, we have this great opportunity. I really appreciate your time, taking time off to actually have me here, to actually learn, to share this, and then so that everybody else can actually learn what is, what happened in the past, what is the, the current state, and what is the future state. So we are actually going to, break this down into three different categories for him to actually share with us his personal journey. And Dennis, really appreciate your time today, for having us here. And the stream breeding journey is sometimes not as straightforward as what people think it is.
That's right.
And I think hearing from you personally, I think it will make a lot more sense because you have been through the entire process. It's still very fresh in your mind. Maybe can you share with us, what you did, how you actually started in this hobby, how you actually tackle through some of these challenges, and then where you are currently, and then and then after that we can talk a little bit about your future state.
Okay. Yeah, thanks Benny for having me today. Okay, very honored to be on the channel. Just a little bit about myself. I actually kept fish, aquatic fish for some time, some years, and never been successful in keeping shrimps. Okay. I think specifically Caridina, right? New Caridina, yeah, a little bit of success here and there, but still, not very successful to say. And that was that, So I'm more into fish, but then then I chanced upon Benny's article from Channel News Asia. That's how I get to know Benny. And I read up your blog, and I find it very interesting, the information you shared. Not easily available outside in the open space, right? So that was when I got touch with you. I think somewhere in April. I think that's how we connected, and then it started from there.
Yeah,
it started from there. Yeah, it started from there. So that was the past.
So you started off with how many tanks?
One tank. So I think I just don't want to jump into things, right? So I just need to be a bit more assured, before I go into more. So yeah, I started with one tank, and the first shrimp that I kept was PRL, one tank, but due to some reasons.
Yeah, I can remember that reason.
Yeah, still some reasons I need to vacate something, meant for my fish, and I free up certain space at my balcony, right? And that was when I decided to really think through the setup, to plan how I want to keep my shrimp in the future. So with some sight into the future, then I did some planning, the layout. I think more so, I'm always looking at the angle that how I want to maximize, the layout, and not to, a jump start kind of thing, right? To do something, I should have, go back and do this, So I at that time when I got the opportunity and the space free up to me, right? I did that planning. And that's how I come to this stage now.
Yeah, having more and more tanks. Yeah,
more and more tanks. More and more tanks.
Yeah, I can still remember those days when you just first started off. It was, there's a lot of things there's a lot of questions. I think there's a lot of questions. Like for example, the discharge of the tubings, of the water. Does it really work? The gravity, does it really work? I think that was the point where you got a little bit skeptical, but you was really willing to actually jump into it and try it.
Yeah,
I think that in itself is very important, because if you don't try, then you wouldn't know whether it really work or not. So you went ahead. You didn't. I can still remember you didn't actually test the system until the very last part of it, and then you tested it. What was your thought around those?
Yeah. Yes, skeptical, definitely skeptical. A bit worried, worrisome. Sure, it's there. So what I did was that I drew out a schematic on a piece of paper. If you can recall, actually, I drew out on a piece of paper. I think I took a camera shot on that one.
Yes.
I shared with you
Yes.
to say whether the concept is correct.
Right.
So once you have given me the assurance, I know surely it's going to work. It's just a matter of physically running the cables, all that, right? So I did that with some consideration. So I expanded it. That is one, I think, one level, one very simple schematics. Then after that, I just need to wire it to multiple tanks, right? So I think with your assurance, it gave me that confidence really. Yeah, give me the confidence. So I eventually run the line. Like what you said, I didn't test out. The only time I test out is when the tank were filled with water. So I'm keeping my finger crossed and then it worked. Wow, bravo, never look back.
Never look back after that. Yeah, that was those times. I think when I shared the concept with Dennis at that point of time, I shared with you, there was some skeptical, but then again, he actually shared how he has routed nicer, because what I did is just one tube right in here, and then I'm always on the lookout for how to beautify it, how to make it better. So he actually did a kind of an elbow to make it more aesthetically pleasing. So from there I actually took the concept as well, and then I share it with other breeders, and then other breeders also start to share with me what they do to make it even better. So I think it's a very open communication thing. There is no one right way, one best way, or what. And I don't take it like, this is my concept, this is how I do it, and then I stick with it. I think there's always room for improvement. If we don't progress on, we don't improve, then it's going to be, people will get better and better, right? So people will get better and better. So I always keep an open mind to see, see how you guys are doing it. I can also adopt it as well. So appreciate that. And then coming back to this topic about he has talked about the past, his current, and the type of streams. So now we are going to talk a little bit more about the future, and these plans may or may not work out. But however, I think having a plan in place will actually give you some idea of ultimately where do you want to reach. And then from there, then you can actually move on to the next step, to the next stage, then to the next stage. So Dennis, maybe can you share a little bit about what do you intend to do in the future? Because when I take a look at your setup, it is really nice, it's very neat. It's also very aesthetically pleasing. When you come in, you can take a look at the tanks. I think it is all very nice. How are you going to plan to make it even better than the current state?
All right. So two parts to your question, right? One, it's I think I'm still new in the hobby, very very new, and firstly, I just want to continue the pillars that you talk about, right? It's to keep the streams alive.
Yes.
Let them thrive. They can form that colony. I'll be very very happy. Then of course, subsequently, I also want to look into selectively breed some of the streams. Some of the streams. So that's the stream keeping part of things. And then I think the hardware part of things is also very important, because we don't want to, like what we talked about earlier on, jumpstart. You waste a lot of money and time, trying to get equipment, and then after that you find that this is not working, you cast it away and then you redo again. So I think a well-planned setup is important. So looking into the future, I know that with my space, right, my limited space, there are still rooms that I can expand. Right. So I'm giving that a thought. So currently my setup is running on a chiller system. Right. So chiller itself, it's quite huge. Generate noise, heat, and take up quite a fair bit of space, because with the chiller box you need to have that cooler box to work in a pair to run your chilling system, right? So my plan for the future setup wise, it's to conceal my balcony but yet not compromising my house, right? Because I like natural rays into the house. So we think about that. It's not solid opaque wall, but glass, glass. So that be it perspex or glass, so that light still can come into the house, and seal it, and then air condition the
That's the ultimate goal, man.
That's the ultimate, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So I think we definitely need to continue to, you know, think in that manner, that how to maximize
Yeah.
the space planning,
Right.
and then the hardware side of things.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's important to really optimize the space that we have, because in Singapore we have a few things that is, you know, it is given to us. Number one, we are limited in space. Number two, we have a lot of heat. So heat is a concern for shrimp breeders, and having a chiller setup, you're bound to experience a lot of condensation in the tank, and
Yes,
then you will
yes.
have to, you know, use a squeaky to actually remove it. That, you know, from a experience standpoint, you don't really get that full experience of, you know, coming into the room to really enjoy the streams without having to do the squeaky for every single tank. I think that takes out a lot of joy.
Yeah,
And then of
yeah,
course, you know,
yeah.
over time, you know, if you have wood planks or plywood that is below the tank, then, or, you know, metal will get rust as well.
Yes.
So all this built into it. So having that you know, insights, or having that foresight to actually get to where you want to be, having it fully air conditioned, I think that is a ultimate goal. I think that is something that I really wish that at some point of time you'll go be there and arrive there. And yeah, so is there anything else before we close the topic? Anything you want to share with new breeders that is coming into the hobby? What are some of the tips that you want to share?
Yeah. So actually, after thinking through that question, right, I think the very important aspect about for new hobbies that come into this hobby, to me, I think the technical part of things, you know, your skill in selecting shrimp or even judging shrimps, I think that one can pick up. But to me, fundamentally, the one very important thing coming into the hobby, right, is finding the right mentor. I think finding the right mentor is important. You know, like Benny is my shrimp mentor, right? So I think that is important to start off. You know, the rest of things you can read, you can pick up, you know, you can learn from a mentor, you can learn from fellow hobbyists, right? But the one key important thing, seriously, to me, it's you must find that right person first. They can point you to the right direction. And then I really appreciate that. Serious,
Okay.
I really appreciate that, because
Thank you.
Benny has been very open in sharing, you know, all his knowledge about shrimp keeping. And precisely that brings me to where I am today. You know, keeping shrimp without the stress, you know. A little bit of stress I think have lah, you know. You're also afraid that your shrimp die, you know. And you know, but then it give us that confidence. So to me, the fundamental thing, get the right mentor, get that note set right, and then from then on, just learn and enjoy the hobby.
Yeah, learn and enjoy. It's fairly simple. I think that's very good advice as well. So thank you very much, Dennis,
Most
for
welcome.
having us here today. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Benny. Thank you.
And for those who enjoyed this video, please remember to give a thumbs up. And for those who are new, please remember to subscribe to this channel. And until next time, peace out.